Hello and welcome to Elecspo. Right, today we're going to talk about Gareth Southgate's weird fetish for right backs. Every time Southgate announces his England squad, you can guarantee there'll be more right backs than he needs, before he picks 5 of them to start England's latest World Cup qualifier against a bunch of plumbers. But what would happen if Gareth Southgate managed a squad completely made up of English right backs? Well, using Football Manager 2021, that's exactly what's going to happen. Southgate is back in the Premier League and he's been appointed Fulham boss. However, I've changed the team name to England Right Back Superstars. Southgate is in charge of a squad of 22 English right backs and will be tasked with guiding them to Premier League survival. He's only got 2 years there, that's how long each right back will be at Craven Cottage, and I've also set a 2-year transfer ban to ensure that they can't sign anyone else during that time. Let's have a quick run through Southgate's right back squad. We've got Kyle Walker, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Reece James, Trent Alexander-Arnold, James Justin, Kieran Trippier, Callum Chambers, Max Aarons, Tariq Lamptey, Matty Cash, Kyle Walker-Peters, James Tavernier, George Baldock, John Joe Kenny, Nathaniel Klein, Joel Ward, Ryan Fredericks, Matty Lowton, Luke Ayling, Adam Smith, Jacob Murphy, and finally Ainsley Maitland-Niles. That's his 22-man squad, but just how well will he do? Let's find out. Right, here we are at the start of the simulation, the 27th of July 2020, and this is the Premier League table that will be kicking off the campaign. As you can see in 7th spot, there is the Fulham badge, the England right back superstars. Gareth Southgate the manager, Tom Kenny's the captain, but I mean that'll change as soon as they realise he's not there anymore. I just released every Fulham player and all the loanees and whatnot. But this is Gareth Southgate's squad. Now I know there's a couple of players who aren't out and out right backs, the likes of Maitland-Niles and Jacob Murphy, but they've played wing back. Murphy's been playing wing back a lot recent weeks. Maitland-Niles has done it in the past. He has got a few options here. There's always talk of Trent playing in centre midfield. He's got players who can play left back, and Kyle Walker played in goal that time for Man City. So, I mean, the big issue could be goals. There's no real striker pedigree here, but what we will do, we will simulate a year into the future. Let's see how Gareth Southgate and the England right back superstars get on in the Premier League. Right, here we are, the 13th of June 2021, 1 year into the future. And unfortunately for Gareth Southgate, a team of English right backs can't survive in the Premier League. The England right back superstars have came rock bottom. They were 20th out of 20. They only got 28 points all season, which is about what Fulham and West Brom and that are on this season, so they're about as good as them. They were 8 points shy of Sheffield United, who came 17th to survive. But the England right backs have came rock bottom. That is, I mean, I'm going to say that's disappointing, but to be honest, I didn't really expect them to survive. Let's check them out. Gareth Southgate is still there. That's good, I guess. I mean, there's no one else that can manage a team of fullbacks like he can. Luke Ayling was named the skipper, Trent Alexander-Arnold the vice-captain. They're quite interesting choices. I mean, I suppose Luke Ayling does captain Leeds a lot of the time, and Trent seems a nice guy. But let's have a look. I mean, I'm going to assume there's been no cup success, but we'll just check it out. Yes, they were knocked out straight away of the League Cup by Millwall 2-0, and the FA Cup beaten in the 5th round by Leicester, so they did alright. My word, what an awful 2021 they've had. They won their first game of the year. They beat West Brom 1-0. Callum Chambers with the goal. That was on the 2nd of January. That was the last time they tasted success in the Premier League. It has been absolutely appalling. The draws are the best they could get. They got a draw against Palace, a draw against Leicester, a draw against Newcastle, one against Brighton, and a 2-2 draw with Arsenal. Reece James and Kyle Walker-Peters with the goals. Wildly disappointing from the right back squad. They didn't have a bad start to the season. They lost on the opening day against Liverpool, that's fair enough. Then they won their second game against West Ham, lost to Burnley, then they went on a bit of a run. They went on a run of 6 games unbeaten, picking up 4 wins in that period. They got a draw with Spurs, they beat Aston Villa. I mean, some good results. Then they came crashing back down to earth when they were beaten 3-0 by Man United. After that, the wheels completely fell off. It was a bit of an appalling season, to be honest with you, but the promise was there. At the beginning, it looked like Southgate had found the perfect recipe of getting a team of 11 right backs to the top of the table. Well, survival. They have got a goalkeeper, unfortunately. I mean, I cannot stop them promoting players from the academy, so I'm assuming Charles Gabriel is a regen. He's a 16-year-old who's been playing in goal all season. Well, he played 10 times. Not sure who's been playing the other games. With Southgate, he's been playing a 4-3-3 formation. The lucky man to play right back on the final day was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Imagine having that honour of being a whole squad of right backs and you're the main man to play in a specialist position. So they had Walker at centre back alongside Luke Ayling. I mean, Luke Ayling has played centre back at times. James Justin at left back. Makes sense, he can play there. Trent sitting in front of the defence. Again, can play centre midfield. Reece James and Maitland-Niles, centre midfielders. Again, makes sense. Reece James can play there. I think he did it for Wigan back in the day. James Tavernier playing higher up the pitch on the right wing. Tariq Lamptey on the left wing. I mean, that doesn't fill me with any kind of confidence. I mean, Tariq Lamptey, a great player. Absolutely rapid flying down that right flank. But he's very, very one-footed for me. Playing on the left wing, can't imagine that's really worked, but he has done okay. And up front on the final day was Kyle Walker-Peters. Don't know why he got that gig, but he did. Some players haven't really featured at all. Nathaniel Clyne hasn't played a minute, Adam Smith hasn't played a minute, Matty Lowton hasn't, George Baldock hasn't. Who's been the best player out of them all though? It has been Trent Alexander-Arnold, an average rating of 7.35. Only 5 players got higher than a 7. Well, equal to a 7. Lamptey, Kyle Walker, Reece James, James Tavernier and Trent Alexander-Arnold. James Tavernier was the top scorer. He got 9 goals, closely followed by Jacob Murphy with 7. Matty Cash did alright as well. No, he didn't. He got 6 goals, but his average rating was poor. But after one season, the England right backs have been relegated to the Championship. There are some good players here. Alexander-Arnold, Kyle Walker. These guys should be going to the Euros this summer for England. Reece James, he's in a Champions League final for goodness sake. But as a Premier League outfit, it hasn't really worked out. But they've still got one more season to redeem themselves. They'll be in the Championship next season, but let's see how they get on in the second tier of English football. Perhaps that is the right backs level. Let's find out. Right, here we are, the 12th of June 2022, the second and final season we're going to look at in this simulation. And while they have played well, the England right backs haven't been able to secure promotion. They have finished 6th in the Sky Bet Championship. They got 75 points. They were nowhere near Bournemouth and Hull, who absolutely romped the title with 106 points. But as for the best of the rest, they were only 3 points behind Hull, who came 3rd. They made it into the playoffs, where unfortunately for the right backs, they were beaten by Hull 3-2 on aggregate. Pretty disappointing. Well, is that disappointing? I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't even think they'd do that well. There has been a change of manager. Steve Bruce is now the manager. I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad. Gareth Southgate got the sack. Oh, well, actually, Gareth Southgate's managed them the whole season, to be honest with you. He got the sack in April, and Brucey's only just joined the other day. So Bruce has only been there 6 days. Let's ignore Steve Bruce. For the main part, it's been Gareth Southgate. Why they sacked him, I don't know, because at the end of the day, this is a team of right backs. Let's have a look. Christ, Kyle Walker-Peters, yet again the main man up front. 20 goals. 20 goals in the Championship is exceptional. I mean, how many did he get in the league actually? Let's have a look. 19 goals in the league. What a season from Kyle Walker-Peters. Christ, Ralph Hasenhüttl will get that man up front alongside Danny Ings. Finishing rating of 9. Christ, how on earth has he scored that many? James Tavernier's hit double figures, so has Reece James. The best player at the club has been James Tavernier, a man who's lifting the Scottish Premiership title at Rangers. Never really been seen in the Premier League. I think he played twice there for Newcastle. I can remember him being not very good. I mean, he's doing well at Rangers, though he loves a set piece. But for the England right backs team, he is an absolute star. One of the best players, to be honest with you, but I suppose that's because he's quite attacking, so he's relying on a bit more than someone like George Baldock, who did play this season. Nathaniel Clyne yet again hasn't got a game. That's fairly disappointing for him, but never mind. At least can't even think of a positive for Nathaniel Clyne. Who was the right back in the final day? They played a 4-4-2 to end the season. Jacob Murphy and Kyle Walker-Peters, the dream team up front. And it was Kyle Walker this time who got to play at right back. Callum Chambers at centre back. Why they weren't doing that last season, I don't know, because Callum Chambers was a centre back in the day. I'm sure when Arsene Wenger signed him, he was playing him at centre back with the idea he was going to play centre mid. I mean, a team of right backs shouldn't work, and in a way it hasn't. There are a lot of talented players in this squad, but I mean, they all want to play in the same position. They got knocked out of the League Cup second round by Palace, the FA Cup 4th round beaten by Man United. But I mean, Christ, at least they didn't spend a whole calendar year with only one win like they did last season. Christ. But I mean, certain players probably wouldn't mind playing in this team. The likes of Reece James, the like of Trent, you know, they're versatile. They can do a job all over the place. I mean, for Trent Alexander-Arnold, there's always talk of him playing in centre midfield in the future. I mean, I'm not really sure about that, but at the end of the day, he's so good at right back, why would you move him? But in this team, he's been forced to move, and he's been one of the best players. He's probably the best player at the club, to be honest with you. I mean, other than Kyle Walker-Peters and his 20 goals. I mean, what a machine. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, still very defensive. He hasn't got an assist or a goal to his name in his 2 years with the England right backs, which might be why he still isn't officially an England right back. I mean, out of these players, who's actually played for their country? In fact, Kieran Trippier, that's a name I forgot about completely. I was worried for a second I hadn't included him, and he is barely played at all. You'd think Kieran Trippier, with his set-piece ability, surely they'd find a place for him in this team, but even he hasn't been able to get a kick. Lopsided much. I mean, let's have a look. Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously played for his country. Reece James, Kyle Walker has. James Justin hasn't yet. Luke Ayling hasn't. Wan-Bissaka hasn't. Has Callum Chambers played for England? 3 caps, goodness me. Trippier obviously has. Maitland-Niles has. And Nathaniel Clyne has. That's 7 of the 22 players who have actually played for England. But that's less than half of the team, and I mean, these are just England players. So Gareth Southgate, if you're thinking about naming a squad just of right backs for the Euros this summer, please, for the love of God, don't. Name Harry Kane, name Raheem Sterling, Jadon Sancho, all the boys. Don't just take a load of right backs. I mean, to be honest with you, in terms of right backs, who should we be taking? Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James and Kyle Walker. They're the 3. I mean, Kieran Trippier I think might make it. Trent's the question mark, but he should make it. He's improved in recent weeks. That's who I think should go, realistically. I don't think there's any chance of Luke Ayling making it, to be honest with you. Sorry, Luke. Let me know in the comments below, actually, if you want me to maybe do an England squad prediction video, my England squad. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to do that. But we are going to leave it there. Gareth Southgate and a squad of England right-backs, relegated, and a failed promotion charge. I think that basically sums it all up. We will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.